Greetings, Atlanta, America, worldwide, internet. Thank you for tuning in to WWWE 1100 AM, The Real. You're in shop talking random issue with King Insane and the lovely Starlight. I am Will Sane.
It's your boy Rick Kane. I'm back in the building, and we have the lovely Starlight.
Hey, fellas, did you miss me?
No, because I won't hear you.
I miss both of y'all.
See, it's hard to run the shop by yourself, ain't it?
You know what? It is. It's difficult. It's difficult.
That's what you get.
I will say that.
That's what you get.
How you know?
Because there was a couple times I had to
You
run the
ever
shop.
run my shop by yourself?
Really?
When you ever run the shop by yourself?
It was a couple times.
When?
I left me the shop by myself.
Hey.
Granted, you had to be on the phone.
Okay,
So when
did you ever run the shop by yourself?
Because I was in the building running hairstyle specials and cuts and whatnot.
I mean, did you do some eyeliners and some eyelashes?
I was working, the pimp perms and the cornrows and the facials.
Did you do any finger roll?
Finger wave.
Did you do any finger wave?
I can do some finger wave. Hey. I did go to a couple cosmetics.
You went body school?
No, I had a couple classes.
Okay, what you can do
So,
finger wave?
okay, now, why didn't you finish cosmetology?
No, I took it actually in school.
Y'all had cosmetology in high school?
And not high school. The private school I went to when we got to middle school, they offered it. So I do know how to do finger waves. I do know how to set up a roller set. I do know how to do a perm.
This is a black college? A black private school?
This is a private black Christian school. And we had one of our teachers that knew.
You know, it's kind of messed up because it seems like they. Hold on. It's like they say you up for a career to go to cosmetology.
You do realize that's one of the easiest ways to get your money.
Did they have barbershop classes?
And do you know what the Bronner Brothers are from? You know what the Bronner Brothers is, then?
Yeah, I know what they are.
Okay, you know how much money the Bronner Brothers
That's a lot of money.
You do know they're like hair and church. That's what the Bronner Brothers do. Hair and church. That's what they do.
In fact, the hair run the church.
Exactly. The hair
fuel the church.
For the buildings.
Hey, once again, people, welcome to the shop where no subject is taboo. We only have one rule in the shop, which is say what you mean what you say. Just don't be mean when you say it. The number to call into the show is 404-603-8770.
And if you're in your mammy basement, the number is 1-888. I did 38 that time. 926-7562. Tell your mama it is a free call. It's on us. It's not one of them 9999999 freaking numbers.
It is not.
Just call in and holler at your boys and your ladies in the barbershop. We do have a lovely lady in the barbershop. She had a hair appointment.
Yes.
So she here at on time.
Can we get an applause for our guest?
Hey, you in the barbershop. What's your name?
Golf clap.
Hello, I'm Swayla. April Consuela, aka Swayla.
Hey, Swayla is
Swayla, what's your title?
I am a clinical hypnotherapist.
A what?
Clinical hypnotherapist.
A clinical hypnotherapist.
Therapist.
So let me ask you something. That means I'm gonna get my friend something on here. You gonna put the camera, the little thing in front of my eyes, and I'm gonna weed, and be hand stall out, and you gonna help me get rid of these addictions that I have through. That's not what you do.
That is what I do, but I do not use the pendulum.
Oh, okay. Well, we're not talking about that little
the
lady.
thing you say that I'm gonna swing back. No.
You don't do that.
I don't use the pendulum.
Well, how you do it then? I mean,
we're gonna get into that.
We're gonna get into that a little bit later, man.
Let's go into these current events.
We got some good things going on. Let's get to it.
Hey, first of all, let's talk about the homegoing ceremony for Miss Aretha Franklin. It was today, and it was basically like going to a job. It was over 8 hours long. How long is too long to have a homegoing ceremony? Folks, tell me.
First of all, I got another question before you get to that question.
Go ahead.
How long is too long for the world tour of Aretha Franklin before you get to the homegoing service?
Ask James Brown people.
Well, see, James,
it was illegal.
No,
they had the whole James Brown.
so far has had the longest.
How long was it?
They had James Brown about 2 months.
Yeah,
But
until you
it
beat
was
James.
illegal. It was a legal term. It was a legal.
Once the legal was over,
that
they
kept James
still
Brown
had
over.
him out.
But Aretha is like on, like Rick said,
She went on the
Aretha's
world
on
tour.
James
She changed
was
clothes.
held up one place.
She changed poses.
That was the hilarious. Like, I
Hey,
really thought they were joking about the outfit change
No.
until I saw the pictures. Was like, y'all really picked
Rita
this body
changed
up.
clothes.
Oh
Y'all picked this body up.
Yeah.
Put a whole new outfit on.
No,
a whole new outfit though.
She had her foot crossed one
Man,
time.
them red shoes.
She had them out one time, just pointed.
Man,
No disrespect.
Auntie Riri.
Hey,
No,
Can I
hey.
get them shoes?
No
Hey.
disrespect to the Queen of Soul,
No,
but
no.
but to
None.
and to the family, you know, we mourn your loss, but y'all took this overboard.
Wasn't that enough time for poo-poo and them to get there?
Continuously, everybody's saying. I mean, I got it, but it's 2 weeks out above ground, and then an 8-hour long. I think Aretha had to finally say, "Hey, put me down, y'all." Just
I'm tired, boss. I'm tired, boss.
It's a concert.
Can I go to rest?
But,
Hey, she brought out the stars though.
yeah.
She did.
They said Bill Clinton was back there looking at Ariana Grande.
Ariana Grande performed. Bill Clinton looking at it. He
They said
stargazing.
Bill Clinton had a perfect seat.
He's stargazing.
Him and
He getting his
what's your keep hope alive?
Al Sharpton.
That one too. Boy, Jesse. They said
Jesse was the one with the
they say the Almighty
That's okay.
Elijah, not Elijah, Farrakhan was looking down.
Farrakhan was
They say Farrakhan was down there, he was looking down. Everybody else, they say all the rest of
Look at him.
them. Hey,
Hey.
because you know she had on that.
You know, I'll say this. I bet you Farrakhan was thinking. He probably wasn't looking, but he was thinking. He was the only one who was imagining.
Yes, sir.
You close your eyes to imagine.
Yes, sir.
He was imagining.
Farrakhan
What was
was
going
looking.
on?
Hey, but Bill was like,
Well, let me point this out. Aretha Franklin, you hear me?
Yeah.
Aretha Franklin didn't like women to dress a certain type of way like that, so it just amazes me how she came out there and started, doing.
you know how y'all, you know how these young,
They
I'm
don't
just
quite
saying, you feel me?
understand. There's a
Fantasia
different.
came out looking bad, but still looking classy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Did you see
there's
some
a
of
new
them
breed.
pictures of Aretha Franklin back in the day?
Yeah.
No, but
She had her, she had her.
But
Hey.
Ariana was like in a.
Riri
She was kind of like
used
this.
Boy,
Riri used to do it.
that thing was brought up him, boy.
Oh, dress was real
Yes,
short.
hey, boy, that thing was up
She
him.
never
I
wears
told you,
anything long.
Hey, I told you,
Her shorts
I
are
told you,
short,
Bill,
her
they were
skirts
back
are
there.
short.
I'm just gonna say this. When I pass, I don't want a funeral. So for everybody in the
So in the barbershop, we're gonna have an urn for Will.
Exactly.
His ashes.
We ain't having no
You come
funeral.
by,
It's not gonna
throw
be
a
in a-
rose.
It's
throw a
not
letter
gonna
to
be in
him.
a
We
church.
good. We
It's
good.
It's not gonna be.
We
Oh,
good.
good God.
Yes, sir. See,
Okay.
hey, now look at this. Hey, look at the two dudes behind them. Now.
Oh.
look at how they looking.
What we not gonna do?
Keep hope alive.
I say this.
Hey,
Jesse Jackson is thinking about. He wish he was Jermaine Jackson.
Hey.
Right about now, looking at that girl.
Hey, now when they show the
Stop
picture of
it.
Bill Clinton,
Dude.
Stop it.
But I'm telling you, when I die, I don't want a funeral. I don't want it. I don't want a funeral. I don't want everybody in there talking about I'm going to this great place. I don't want everybody telling us crying. I don't want it in a church. I don't want a pastor there. All I want is a big party. Put it in like some kind of hall, and let's have a friggin' party, celebrate. Have people come up, tell stories, give them a microphone, and that's it.
Whenever
That's a
Satan
party.
goes, we're just gonna have his urn at the barbershop. We're
That's
gonna
it.
shut down the
Oh, you ain't gonna be no
and
urn.
we gonna
Ain't
have
no urn.
I
ain't getting cremated now.
are you afraid of the fire?
I think you. I think you
now?
probably still feel. I still got to feel. You probably feel that
no,
stuff.
I don't.
I got to feel you probably feel that.
And I don't know how we get here, but we are in the barbershop, so talking conversation with everything, and nothing is taboo in the
Nothing's
barbershop.
taboo.
Dog, I want you to burn me. I don't want you to
Burn
spend
you?
no money, burn me, put me in a little bit of box. You ain't gotta put me in a
That's why I got insurance.
Put me in a little box.
Put you in a little box.
I mean, I want you to get the insurance so you can pay the bills.
No, man.
I don't want you to put the insurance on, get all the money, and save all the money you can. Dog, all I want you to do, I want 90s, late 90s hip hop play. I want all the liquor. No, drink the liquor. What you pouring it out for?
No, that's disrespectful.
That
That is
drink that liquor, man. Drink that liquor. Drink that liquor, man. That's good liquor. Don't buy that cheap.
Get your money on it.
Yeah, but drink that liquor and put me on the Little League football field.
And put you on. Spring you on the
On
field.
the football, Little League football field.
Man, kids don't want your dead ass on the
You
field.
want the 50
I
yard
wanna be-
line
I
or
wanna
end
be-
zone?
What do you want to do? Hot the
I
They
wanna-
kids?
want 50 yard line or end zone.
No,
No,
man.
Little League football field.
No,
No, I'm
man.
just saying across the whole field.
As
All
much
right,
as you
all
can.
right.
I want.
I got you.
I want to coach
Nah.
football. I want to coach football.
We're gonna put you in the paint machine and make sure that you are
I
on the
just want.
field. I
Hey,
got you.
I just want to
got
coach
you.
football. I want to coach the kids, man.
Hey, also, last thing on another death, Senator John McCain. Everyone know he's passed like last week. And the bad thing, and I want to say that they're doing a memorial. They did a memorial for him also today. But the thing that really ticked me off was that the flag was lowered to half staff, and the president told them to raise the flag back up.
Yep.
And if it wasn't for a lot of veterans coming along, and thank you to Senator Johnny Isaacson, a Republican of Georgia, who stepped up and said, if you disrespect John McCain for his service and what he did, you deserve a whooping. He was directly speaking to Donald
Yes,
Trump.
he was.
Even though he didn't say his name, everyone knows he was speaking about Donald Trump. And hey, I say this is what I have to say about this whole thing. And closing on my part on this is that how can you talk about players kneeling is just being disrespectful to soldiers and veterans when you won't lower a flag for a veteran who was a POW, who served in the war that you dodged.
But this is also still the same man that doesn't understand why the last two major funerals here in the United States, political wise, and major events of the world, he don't understand why he keep getting denied access to. And it's like, dude, everybody knows you're not gonna respect it.
Yeah.
So they don't want you there. They don't want you just being there to be seen
He knows.
and making it about you.
He knows, but he
And it's
doesn't
like,
care.
but
He does not care.
and exactly at that point,
Egotistical
Oh,
maniac. But
very
see,
much
this is my
so.
thing. But this is my one question about that is, there was a lot of black folks who was mad at other blacks who was saying R.I.P. and much respect to John McClane.
Yeah.
Which was some of the dumbest things I ever
It really
heard,
is.
Because John
he was a
McClane,
great man.
John
for what
McClane,
he was.
if you believe in America and believe in what America is supposed to be, seems to me like John McCain was a true American.
He was.
Yeah.
I mean, even though he was a Republican,
Isn't
he wanted.
Even
though he was a
Exactly.
Republican,
He was about the country.
He wanted the country to
He
work.
was about the country.
And he was one of the only when 45 was trying to repeal Obamacare and everything. He was one of the only to step across the line.
Yeah.
He was like,
he blocked it from being
Yeah.
repealed.
and this was the thing that I love. He was like, even though Obamacare is not perfect, what we doing ain't right.
Exactly.
And how we not taking care of America.
Exactly.
His whole thing was taking care of America.
And I'm gonna say this: there's some veterans who say that, their flag will still be flying at full staff because they hated John McCain. And to those veterans, I say, I'm not worried, and I think John McCain isn't worried, and America isn't worried that your flag is gonna be flying at full staff because when you die, the flag will be still flying at full staff. But still, I appreciate you and your service.
Thank you.
All right.
For sure.
Oh,
Swayla.
Ms. Swayla,
Yes.
do you have any? Feel free to chime in now. Feel free to chime in. Aretha Franklin, how do you feel about the death?
That's the queen of soul. So you have to expect to where she has touched so many genres of music and so many people worldwide knows her music, her love, how she feels about a lot of things because not only was she's a singer, but she did a lot of different things with different organizations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So
She even, and this was impressed me when Angela Davis was locked up.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "I'll take care."
Yep.
But they were like, "Do you know how much I take care?"
It didn't matter.
So she was definitely on the forefront of a lot of social issues, a lot of battles. And Aretha was sexy as hell back in the day.
really.
I'm sorry,
You know
y'all.
what?
I'm sorry.
The opinions expressed on the show are only those of one spoken.
Speaking of which, I have a public service announcement.
Go ahead.
Ladies, you might want to turn the music off. I need everybody to hear this. Ladies, football season have begun.
Yes.
You had from Super Bowl last year to kick off of the football season last Thursday evening to get everything you wanted done. Football kicked off Thursday evening. Tonight there are games. Tomorrow there are games. So all these big boy projects, keep them to yourself. All this conversation you want between
Thursday and Monday,
you need to hold it. Football season is now in effect.
you now have Tuesday and Wednesday.
You got Tuesday and Wednesday,
Tuesday and Wednesday.
and you have 15 minutes of halftime to get what you need done. Quick is preferred. Football is in session.
Now, Miss Whalen, are you a football fan?
Negative.
You're not. Oh,
So I hope you got all the things accomplished that you needed. Now Super Bowl is coming. February something. I forgot the date.
It should
It's
be
here in
that
Atlanta.
first week, the first
I
Sunday.
think it's about the first Sunday in February.
First Sunday in February.
So whatever you got, you need to make a list. So at the Super Bowl, the first week in February.
On Monday, that first Monday.
That
in
first
February.
Monday, that first Saturday, you get everything you want done. But until then, you had your chance. I told you. I let you know specifically when the Super Bowl happened. Get what you need done. We don't need no conversation. Ain't no heavy conversation going on when the game is. Don't ask me what he doing. Why they call that penalty for that? Rashawn Ali do a thing every year to help y'all get accustomed to the game.
what's she at? What's she on now?
I don't know where she
No,
is, but I know she do something
she's on a
every year.
show. She has a show.
Is it a show now?
Yeah, she has a show with 3 other ladies.
Oh,
They have a
Yeah,
talk show
they
in the
do
morning.
something. And then she still bald head.
So,
Bald head.
So Super Bowl is here in Atlanta on February 3rd.
February the 3rd.
February 3rd. Atlanta is going to be crazy. Hopefully this time it's not going to snow.
Well,
Hopefully
actually,
it won't rain.
Atlanta
Hopefully
is
it's
crazy
good
this weekend also.
There's a lot of stuff going on in the
You got
town.
Dragon Con. Anybody going to participate in Dragon Con this year?
You got
I
Luda.
wish I could.
No.
You got Luda Day weekend.
Luda Day
Happy
weekend.
birthday, Luda.
You also have the Pride. Is it
Black Pride.
Black Pride or
It's
Black,
Black Pride.
Gay Pride? Can you say
Just
gay?
say Black Pride.
Wait.
They
No.
the gay is
Black
understood.
Pride.
It's the
No, it's
silent
not.
G.
No, that's different.
No, it's
No, no,
Black
because
Pride, I think it's black people.
no,
I don't think it's
no.
black.
Keyword. Pride
No.
is no. Trust me.
You can't take it over. Hey,
me.
listen.
Rainbow Land has taken it over.
No offense to the black gays in America. You can't just hijack Black Pride,
This
man.
is true. No,
I mean,
no.
they call
that
it
is-
Black Pride
that
because
is
you know
$100%.
gay might not be
Because-
the proper
Call it
word.
Pride of Black. I mean, call it Pride of Gay Blacks or something.
No, but I'm
Gay
saying
Black
it's
Pride.
because
You can't
it's
show
because
It's Black Pride
regular.
weekend.
It's because regular Pride weekend is
That-
around Memorial. So Labor Day they get Black Pride weekend.
That tricks me. Because if I see an event that said Black Pride,
Well, I tell you,
I'm
go down
gonna go out
there.
there.
Well, go down there then.
Look at a flyer. You'll know.
Go
you're
down
supposed to
there
be
then.
No, that tricks me. 10th and Piedmont is going to be off the hook.
Hey, downtown is retarded.
We also have the MEAC and SWAC challenge being held at the Georgia State Stadium.
And you also
We have House in the Park on Sunday.
Peach Bowl,
I gotta-
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah.
What's
Chick-fil-A Bowl.
What's House in the Park going to be at?
House in the Park is at Grant Park.
Is that Grant Park?
Yes, all
Okay.
day Sunday.
Do we have any? Oh, I can't wait till 2 weeks from now. One Music Fest. That's gonna be live as hell.
Yes.
I gotta
Tickets
go
are
to
still
One
on
Music
sale.
Fest.
If,
I know.
we're not getting payments from. I'm just saying, if anybody wants
but
to
One
take,
Music Fest.
if anybody would like to take the lovely Starlight to
Hell,
Music
take
Fest,
me.
hey, go ahead.
I
Call in, email us.
I'm
do
sorry, I ain't
whatever.
gonna go to Black Pride just to get some tickets for One Music Fest.
Hey, you get your ticket.
You know
Sorry.
what?
Hey, you will. You little shine. You got your fresh
Hey.
shaved head.
Let me go to the people.
Hey.
You know. Just let it rub your head for a little bit. You be alright.
I'm about to go to
You be
Midtown
alright.
see if I can get me some tickets.
Hey, get all the tickets you
Once
want, my
again,
brother.
I'm
the
scared.
comments and views expressed.
No, hey, we love everybody, man. We love everybody.
So yeah, this is that weekend, man. There's gonna be a lot going on. So I mean,
You gonna be in the Classic City tomorrow? Are you on the Athens
no,
tomorrow?
I'm gonna be. Zay got a game in the morning, and go do some little league football. Football has started.
I gotta go to after.
It's
I'ma give me some
officially
little
the best
league.
season
Hey,
ever.
I'm gonna give me some little league in, and then I'm gonna get on the boards and them Bulldog. Go dog, sick 'em. They start tomorrow. So we finna get it in, man. But right now we gonna get ready to take a break.
Take it small.
And then once we come back, we gonna get into Miss Swayla.
Yes, Hunty, yes.
And we're gonna get into what she has an event coming up, and we're gonna get in. We're gonna talk about her event. We're gonna talk about what she does, and try to make the community better.
Yes, sir.
We shall be back. If you want to join us in the barbershop, please holler at your boy and lovely ladies at 404-603-8770. You can also hit us if your mammy got a problem with it. Dial us on the 1-888 number. 926-7562. Holla at your folks. We shall return.
Yeah.
Blah.
You know what's going to be?
No.
He already put on there.
The headphones over.
Huh?
They can't hear it anyway because the headphones in there, right?
He's got the plug in there.
No, it ain't.
No,
It ain't. That's the battery. So I don't know if it's.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I like the damn Drake song non-stop. That should be right. All right, so
Which song is this? I don't.
this one. So Miss
The
Swayla.
board that I climb.
Swayla. All right, so when we come back, we're gonna go to. We gotta reintroduce you. We're gonna have you tell us exactly basically what is clinical therapy, so that everybody.
What is clinical hypnotherapy?
Clinical hypnotherapy.
Okay.
I apologize. I do apologize. So tell us about what it is, and then we just have beautiful questions for you from them.
Okay.
I'm trying to research it now, but shoot, if I'm not more so, because I know I'm a spontaneously try to ask questions. I know that's one way you usually work because of one of what you say. I can listen to you and find a question from that, but I want to find more like professional type questions that's gonna like
You want that to play that?
give you more to talk about.
So you want that to play that?
Yeah.
Now you know the regular questions like how long you been doing it and stuff like that,
Right.
and what made you get into it, because it's not something that most of us out here, especially African Americans, like black people, know about.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
You say yeah.
Yes. Hunty, yes.
What you got in that beer? Right? What you got in that bottle?
And it's just some pure.
It's just beer.
Yeah, it's pure
that
mineral
French
water.
Oh.
Yes, bonjour, oui,
You
oui.
been drinking earlier?
Huh?
You been drinking earlier?
No, I don't drink.
Oh, you don't?
That's
good.
Oh, I drink wine every now and then.
Oh.
You know, but
See, I don't drink, but you drink wine.
every
Drinking
now and
now.
then I do.
Okay.
I'm a vegetarian, so I don't kind of like.
Oh, for real?
Right.
What you drink? White, red?
It's clear. I don't do red. I just do white.
How long you been a vegetarian?
For 3.5 years.
Like, what made you like switch over to that?
My cousin kind of like went through an issue where he had to get his foot amputated at the age of 40 something from diabetes. So I decided to kind of like love myself and
Yeah.
I like my feet.
find some things, you know.
That I know that's in my family history. I'm okay with that. Eating meat and not having that issue. Not everybody has that.
That's not.
Listen.
Well, that's not only the issue it is now. It's like now they've added so much stuff into the food system
Yeah.
That's
to
what's
where
good.
it's activating any type of strand of anything you
Yeah.
may have in your body.
Yeah.
You know, so when you're eating, consuming from the ground,
30 seconds.
from the ground,
Yeah.
that's proven. Then you know you don't have any type of animalistic particles
But
inside
then
of
they
you.
mess up the ground so much now. I'm like, you know what? We just,
Yeah.
if
Do you do
we
your-
can't get minerals from
Do you go like Whole Foods, or do you like grow your own stuff?
Not yet. I'm in the midst of attempting to grow.
To grow?
Right.
That's some good shit.
Because
That's
it's
actually
very
the best way to-
expensive being a vegetarian.
I know, I can understand.
Very.
Y'all ready?
It's hard.
You want to give me some chicken?
No. I do still need the yard bird occasionally.
Welcome back to Talking Randomish on WWWE 1100 AM, The Real. You in the shop with Rick King, Will Sane, the lovely Starlight, and we have a special guest in the house tonight, Miss Swayla. Miss Swayla.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Rick.
And actually, this is actually a reunion of sorts for me and Miss Suela. I used to engineer the show, her and 2 other ladies. No, actually 3 other ladies. Queen G, Bonafide, Lady T. That's it. And they had a show called Single Ladies in
Well,
High Life.
actually, we had 2 shows. Remember, we came on.
That's right. I had a show on Friday and then Saturday. Yes.
What's the name of your show? Because Rick jacking it up.
So the show was
in his defense, he almost got it.
He almost.
And that's right. I give it to you. You almost got it right, Rick.
What's the name of your show?
Well, the show that came on Friday night was Single Mom's Lifestyle, and the one that came on Saturday night was Single Mom Getaway.
That's right.
Single
The
Mom
getaway.
Lifestyle
Yeah, because they changed the getaway. That's right.
Right. And then when we came back, it was Single Moms to Wives. Remember?
Yes. Single Moms and Wives because everybody.
Saturday Night Getaway.
Yes. And also my man Poe. Poe did the show with us when we did the 444 show on.
Okay.
That's right. What's going on?
Oh,
let me see if they watch. Let me see if they watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in fact,
this is called in.
yes. In fact, I want to congratulate Queen G and King Poe. They recently got married.
Okay. Congratulations.
Yes, they recently got married.
Yes.
But on the show, Miss Suela was the health. She always came up with something good and healthy. She was always something organic, something with the earth. She gonna bring the earth and the stars and the moon together. She gonna yes sir. So
You got a Native American in your family?
I do actually. I am part Blackfoot Indian. That's right.
You can see the cheekbones. You see the
That's
cheekbones.
right.
So you're from the Carolinas area.
No, actually, I'm from Sparta, Georgia,
Okay.
and my great grandfather was full bred.
Blackfoot.
Full blood, right? Blackfoot Indian. So you know if you have a drop of Indian.
yes sir.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's a drop. That's a
Well,
drop.
I got
You
good
need to know
help.
what a drop.
I had some good help in I had some engine.
You got good hair.
Yeah, I got some engine.
You got a good
Yes,
hair.
sir.
We not
Yes, sir.
gonna call them no. That's what we not gonna call them.
Exactly.
And I engine.
And
No.
Native American.
And I
Native American.
No, they
Just
were
cause
So we
first.
can't call them Indians no
No, they
more?
Native American.
no,
Just cause
no,
Columbus screwed
no.
up and thought he was somewhere and
No.
decided naming people something and you
Boy.
Engine is the
Engine,
wrong word.
engine.
They're not in
They're not
cars. No, they're not in cars.
Indians.
Y'all ain't Negroes.
They don't make.
Oh,
They don't
my
make
Lord.
things move.
But she's here tonight because she has an event going on, and she's also, which intrigued me to ask her to make sure she come in and talk about this. She's in. What are you? I'm gonna mess it up. I'm gonna mess it
You
up.
tried.
I am a clinical, which means medical.
Medical.
Clinical hypnotherapist. So I deal with issues from fears, phobias, anxiety, weight loss, weight gain, past life regressions, kids that have ADHD, any type of anxieties, issues you have.
Okay, now
You just need I know 3 of them right now. I need to see you though.
Hey, now, but see, the word that
You
got
take
me.
Tricare? Do you take Tricare?
But see,
No.
the word that got me is hypno. And so, you know, the first thing we think about as black folk is being hypnotized.
With a clock swinging back.
I mean, as some being, you know, like Fred Sanford when he told him to stick his arm out and my arm be straight. And so I thought she was going to come here and hypnotize us and make my life better. I mean,
Well, see, that is a stigma that carries such a big cloud over the organization that I deal with. And the stigma actually come from the psychiatric world. If you can help someone naturally,
yes.
without prescribing them any type of man-made drugs or stuff, you know, that is not from the ground or anything, then you're a threat to their pockets.
Yeah.
So
Because you're going against the pharmaceutical industry.
right.
Oh, yeah. Big boy business.
Right, really big boy
Big
business.
boy business. Yes, sir.
So in order for me to practice, I had to become a member of a union because these psychiatric doctors, they hate my guts.
Yeah, like you said, they get money for writing all these prescriptions.
Yes. I mean, there's big boy money in prescriptions. Yes.
Big
And that's
pharmaceutical is
see,
losing money.
and when I ran a group home, that was one of the things that I hated. Because once you deal with these kids and started talking to these kids, and you realize half of their problems are all the psychotropic drugs that they're on.
Yep.
All the time.
Psychotropic.
What did he say?
No,
He tried.
See, that's rude.
I'm sorry.
He
I'm sorry.
He was so close.
Rick, there's a.
I'm saying he
Is
was
that
so
psycho?
close.
Is that psychotropic?
He was so close.
yeah,
You
I'm
just
sorry.
didn't let it
I'm
ride.
sorry, man. I'm sorry.
You sure got a lot of
I love
Indian
you.
in you.
Hey.
Tell you.
I love the dude. I love the dude. That just says psychotropic.
He
Psycho,
was.
mind-altering drugs
Hey,
in
Look
the
at
system.
you. Look at you pulling a Porky Pig
I
and
love
saying
you.
the word that worked for
Yes,
you. Look at you.
all the mind-altering drugs.
That's
in their
why.
system.
That's why you're my guy.
And to me, that was one of the absolute worst things. But the longer I was in the business, I realized the more drugs they owned, the more money that the organization received from them.
Yeah.
So, Miss Shay, what brought you?
But okay.
She know I can't. She already
Love
knew
it,
that. She already knew
I
that.
told you got a lot of Indian in him.
She already knew that. What made you? What brought you to this field?
Well, back in 1999, back in 1999, I started working for adult psychiatric hospital here in Georgia. I don't want to say the name,
You know,
but
it's okay.
yeah, it was a regional. But anyway, I was actually the program assistant there, which is the AKA chart room manager, and I actually was like really inside of the matrix. Like I really seen it in action.
Yeah.
You know, I seen like people would come in and doctors don't know the person from A to B, don't have a history right then and there on them, but because of the way they look or the way they sound, then they actually are labeled with schizo, and you know, whatever the case may be. So I did that for like 5 years, and in between time, I started studying Egyptian mythology. And Egyptian mythology tells you that hypnosis started 4,000 years ago in Egypt. That's the real Egypt.
Oh, yonder where they built
With
the
a pyramid,
pyramids.
yeah,
Oh,
with a
okay.
pyramid
Well,
stuff.
you were young.
Yeah, right. So the correct word for it at the time was sleep temples. And I started studying Egyptian mythology that led. Well, my mother passed away in 1992 from a neurological disease, which was the multiple sclerosis. So when I migrated to California, I was, you know, doing me and whatnot, and I was
California is a do-me state.
right.
Yeah,
So
definitely a do-me state.
so I was on.
California do me.
Hey.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
From the sunshine
to the do-me state.
Right.
Find yourself.
Right, and I really did.
I'm sure. Good stuff to deal with to help you with the psychotropic drugs and tropicals and yes, and everything. Goddamn California.
Everything going
yes,
in Cali,
California. If you can't get it out there.
Okay, right.
Shouts out to Cali. Hold on. I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt. Shouts out to Cali because my ship, the USS FFG-14, is having a reunion out in San Diego this weekend, and I can't be there. But hey, boys, y'all do enjoy yourself. Yes, sir. No,
Okay,
yes, indeed. I found myself too. Yes, I did. No, back. No, sorry. I'm sorry. So let's get back to you. I'm so sorry.
So basically, you know, I was like in the midst of what I want to do now. Do I want to do this or do that? So I was on a bus one day, and I picked up a magazine. And the magazine said, "Do you want to help people?"
Yes.
Hey, you found it. Hey, it's a lot of help on the bus because when she read, "Do you want to help people?" It was about 5 or 6 of them right there that needed some help. I'm talking about that need some hands laid on them right then and there. You can find a lot of things on that bus now.
So you felt like that magazine spoke to
Well,
you.
let me tell you, right? It wasn't just that. It was what I read. It said, "Do you want to help people? Do you want to help people naturally and without getting, all of that?" But then it said something on there about neuro-linguistic programming, and I was.
Is that what got you, like, when you heard that
Right.
title?
When I seen the word neuro, because
Yeah.
my mother passed from a neurological disease,
Got you.
I was like, I felt it in my soul. So of course, you know.
What you ate? Because I know you eat a lot of Spanish, that Mexican kind of mess your stomach up.
No, actually, I kind of like, I really felt it. So, you know, I did my due diligence. I called a college, and I found out that, you know, they took financial aid and Pell Grants.
So we're trying to get some aid. So, and this right here, and that's a key part, because this isn't something just like you go to school and get a certification for.
No.
So it's not like I'm just going to a barber shop and getting it. Okay.
It's an accredited. The name of the school is HMI. It's College of Hypnotherapy. So actually, the founder of the school was Mr. George Kappas, who passed away. He had to actually prove to a board of directors that it works. So meaning that he had to really go in, hypnotize people in front of, you know, whoever it was, and that's how he got accreditation for the school.
Okay.
So I started that college back in 2007, and I graduated in 2011.
Okay.
In 4 years. She did it in 4 years, though.
I graduated in 2011.
She's on the accelerated Black Folk program.
So, and you know what was really interesting?
What's that?
That I went to college with a variety of different culture.
I can imagine.
I mean, I'm talking about millionaires, billionaires. People was there from Israel. People was there from all type of areas in the world, and I was like the only
African American. Black.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
I was the only Native / American Black woman there.
See, let me take.
I can imagine that.
I'm glad you brought that point up, because I have said this on this show before. I think our community has too much religion in it. And what I have, since I've been in the world a little bit, I have realized that a lot of these other cultures believe in a lot of this, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of natural things. They believe in a lot of this natural stuff. They believe in a lot of these words. They read, they know more about our culture than we do. And they believe in a lot of these cultures. They believe in a lot of this stuff. So I'm not amazed that when you walked in this class, you were the only one of you in this class, because a lot of them know just as much or more about these things and study these things, because they know it is the truth in a way. But they only sell us religion.
But that's the funny thing, though. What you see as the downfall of religion for the traditional American Black person is a falsified version somewhat, because if you look at any of if you break down just like the major ones that people talk about in the world, they all go back, they all have a naturalistic component. They all come from a natural, from where we started from as a human organism or component.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, yeah, if you delve into it, no matter which one you decide you're going to be a part of, it's got to go back to that. So yeah, it's funny that America.
Hold on. We're going on religion. That's another subject. So how did you transfer from going out there in your class and realizing that you're the only native black person out there in this class? How do you transfer from there, from California back to Georgia?
So I came back
doing this, what you're doing now.
Right. So I networked up there for a little bit. I came back here in November of 2012. Mm-hmm. And when I got back here, you know, my family was like, I had been gone for like years. They was like, you are what? You do what? You do who?
Yeah,
you know,
no one understands
a lot of people look at it as, you know, a lot of people have it saying that it's voodoo.
Yes, or that's exactly what I was saying.
That it has, you know, some type
satanic.
Well, not even as in satanic. It's just because people don't have an understanding of what it is. Because if you knew that you can heal your mind or you can heal your body just with your mind, then you're a witch, or you know what I'm saying?
That's what I mean by satanic.
Some kind of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But no,
you would be considered a witch if we were back in the old Salem days, right?
No, I wouldn't.
You would?
No.
Because if you're hypnotizing people, then I'm asking you, hypnotizing people and having them to change or alter their mind from being from one behavior to another behavior, that to me, if you were back in the Salem days, they wouldn't. You don't think they would consider that as
But
maybe she's doing witchery?
that was mainly because
you don't think
I don't think that it would be witchcraft or anything like that. That's not what I would believe in, because you know, if we want to talk about back in those days, you know, I'm not Jesus, but what I do know is he healed.
Yeah.
Naturally,
that's the weird
with touching.
That's the weird thing when you look at America, and while Hussein was saying the Salem witch trials that happened in America, a lot of the things they accused people of being quote unquote witches for went back to that original thing, like you said, how Jesus healed by just speaking or telling them to, like, look, change your mind and how you're thinking about your situation. But it's like, oh no, because we're trying to control you. Oh no, you're a witch because you're trying to help people do just exactly. And it's like, okay.
Well, I mean, I still wouldn't say that.
I don't think you. No.
I don't want to clear it up. The powers that be would consider.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Powers that be would.
Yes, I don't consider you as being a witch.
I just think that, you know, what my description is a clinical hypnotherapist. Just like you have all different other kind of therapists. Yeah. Mine is just hypno, which I just deal with the conscious mind and the subconscious mind and the unconscious mind, which people don't know, because the brain needs to be deprogrammed in order to be reprogrammed. And that's what I do. So I deprogram the mind to reprogram the mind, meaning that if you have any type of habits, smoking cigarettes, drinking, I talk to you in a certain voice, and I just give you different type of suggestibilities. That's all. So what does, I just talk to you.
Okay.
In the military.
Okay, let me ask you. Actually,
sure. Deprogram.
Yes, to reprogram. Exactly. I break you down to build you up. What is the definition of hypno for all of us that don't understand? What is the true definition of hypno?
Hyper consciousness awareness. It's a heightened state of awareness.
Mm-hmm. And how does one get to that hyper state of awareness?
You would have to deprogram the mind in order to reprogram the mind. People don't understand that every day of your life you're under a trance. If you are following the same type of schedule, or you're listening to the same type of music, or if you're eating the same way, if you're doing it diligently every day, you're in a form of being hypnotized.
That habit.
You know, right, with habits, right. And then when you're watching television, the correct name of it is television programming network. Yeah. So because the television program network is owned by so many different Caucasianist people, then subliminal messaging has been implemented and added there to program you.
Same thing with the radio station.
With the radio, exactly. Same thing with everything.
With the music that you hear every day. Because I can tell several people, you can listen to this song played with Ariana Grande and 2 Chainz on the urban radio stations, but on the white radio stations they cut 2 Chainz off. They don't want their people to hear that message and hear that negative idea that rapper is probably putting out, but they don't mind it being on the urban side.
And it's the same way you have an ageism of it too. Yeah. In your urban younger stations will play a rap version on a R&B song. Mm-hmm. The older stations will cut the rap part off. Yeah. And it's like, okay, I know what's supposed to be here in this song, but it's like, okay, you just cut it, so I only hear this because your station is only focusing on listening to this part of it. Yeah. And it's like, especially with TV, that's where it's like a lot of, I would say, our generation, we were in that generation that got a plethora of things shown to us via TV. And it's like, we got to see almost like a good, well, not a
We saw
good or
BET,
bad.
but we also got to see BET go from a
But I'm saying, that's what I'm saying,
TV show, TV station that actually tried to help the community to a TV station that became detrimental to me.
That's
And
just
that's
like
what I'm
when we
saying,
were growing up,
but
we had shows like The Cosby Show.
Yeah, it's like you
that
had shows
encouraged
that
us to go to
showed
school.
everything.
We had the shows
It
like
showed you every way of life.
Yeah, a different
and then
world.
now it's like, okay, just focus on this, just focus on this, just focus on this, and it's like, really, that's all I got to focus on. And so you realize, okay, we get it. We get the fact there's other things out there, but unfortunately, the generations underneath us, they just say, oh, that's all I can do. And so it does kind of help for having that outside of your typical medical profession to have the people that are doing the holistic medicines, because that's the key part of it. It's
holistic.
A whole.
That's the word I was looking for.
Whole person.
Now,
it's like you gotta be the whole person to really get it. You gotta understand your whole person.
Ms. Wheeler, how long, like a counseling session? I know it's all dependent upon the individual who's receiving the message. So how long does a typical, like, say if I come to you, because I'll be honest, I have a fear of flying. That's one of my phobias. Or a fear of heights. How long does it usually a counseling session last for me to, will I be totally cured if I came in? Will you be able to hypnotize me to where I come to you one session, walk out the door, now I'm able to take off on an airplane without fear?
So typically what I do is a consultation with you first. And it's certain type of questions that has to be asked, because between the ages of you being 0 and 5 is a very critical and cruciated point in any person's life, because around that time your brain soaks up everything like a sponge. Yeah. That's why they say be careful what you say around kids, like they bad and all of that stuff. Those words are activation words. So when they get older, it's already been seeded into their mind, you know. But back to what you were saying, so I would have to, ask you a couple of questions. Also, I would have to find out who raised you, because that is very imperative. Was you in your grandmother raised you? Was you in a dual household with your mom or your dad? Then after that, it's up to the person. Sometimes, when I do it, some people may need 3 sessions, some people may need 6, some people may need 9. It just all depends on the person. So even though you have the hypno session with me, it's still different things that you have to do outside of it. So it's like, when you come to me, I put you in a trance, I give you certain suggestibilities, and then when you get ready to leave, you have something that you would have to do as well to help reprogram the mind while you're out away in society, Then you come back to me, we converse again, you tell me how you feel, what kind of changes and all of that, and it's really up to the person. So sometimes between 3, 6, or 9 sessions.
Okay, question. Since you've been doing this, what have you seen to be the hardest process, the breaking down or the building back up?
I would say the breaking down, because building up is kind of like easier, because it's like when you're, breaking down is in the 360-degree frame, which is a circle, it's around and around and around. But when you building up, you're laying a foundation first, and then you work from your foundation all the way up. So when you breaking somebody down, sometimes people is afraid to tell you of stuff that happened to them. Like it's amazing that when you start talking to a person,
I'm a stranger to you. You're a stranger to me. I don't want to tell you everything about
it. Right. So by you not being honest and by you not being open, then you're going to continue to go into a 360 degree. Gotcha. Like they tell you, don't sign your name on a 360 degree contract with your industry. That's what they mean. You're going to keep doing this, and it's not meant for people to do this. It's meant for people to build and then go up.
Gotcha. Yeah,
so,
build the platform
build your platform first. So I build the brain after the trance. After you tell me, everything, and we go through the session, then I start to build your mindset. Meaning that when I have you in a trance, I start emulating suggestibilities, certain words, and then of course my voice may change, and sometimes that may sound so. It just depends on.
That sounds wicked. I'm sorry. That sounds scary.
You have to know what frequency is as well.
Yeah. Okay.
See, people don't understand that when you speak, We hear sound, but you're really speaking in frequency.
Exactly.
True.
Exactly.
And back in, I think, 1920, the Rothschilds or the Rockefellers or whoever it was, they alter the sound waves.
Yep.
Right. So
It was a Ross.
right. So when me and you converse, we talk, and when I get ready, you're gonna tell me what it is. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna say. So you're gonna be completely aware of what it is because we already talked about this. But when you're in a relaxed state, your mind is not racing. Your subconscious mind is able to retrieve information and sound waves even better. Like when you're sleeping, right?
Yeah.
When you sleep at nighttime, you're not supposed to sleep with like no radio on and no TV
I
or
sleep
none
with
of
the
that
TV
stuff.
on, and sometimes I hear basketball games, and here I am thinking I'm playing against Kobe.
Right.
Your dreams and all that.
That's not
Exactly.
good.
Right, that's
And
not
then you got another problem
I
going
beat
on
Kobe.
because you're losing.
I beat
and
Kobe.
Kobe dragging you. And you gotta have
this
anxiety.
is the thing, though. This is the thing, and this is one of the trickery that they implemented into the television system. They know that our people sometimes are kind of lazy and don't want to
Shiftless.
right, right. So they put certain
Good
type
word.
How
of
to use that?
they put
No, good word.
certain type of colors and certain type of words inside of advertisements and stuff like that. So when you resting at nighttime or when you're in a trance and you're sitting there looking at the TV, they implement in certain stuff. So then that's when the habit starts to occur.
Yeah.
That's when cigarettes, Newport starts to smoke.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
when you going to get cigarillos and on the back of them it tells you that it may cause cancer and it has nicotine in it.
You don't
You
care.
see what I'm saying?
That's what I want to hear.
And then you start, eating all of these fast foods and
That
stuff
is
like
why
that.
Newports look like the same color as money. Green and white. Black people love money. They love them some Newports.
But that's the thing, though. Like for me, listening to this, it's kind of speaking to my teacher mind because like the classroom I'm in, it's literally we have a full wall of windows and walls, like floor to ceiling windows and doors. It's a very pale blue. And for me, I know when my kids are getting too loud for me to handle, or it's doing, I'll randomly just pull on either the the hertz signals of YouTube, or like today I was like, okay, I'm playing cool jazz all day. I'm playing smooth jazz all day. And they know, you're too loud in the music. I need you back down to this level where I can hear it. Because I know if I can hear it, they can hear it. And they know also I don't like to speak loud. So I know if I have to get loud, okay, that's because that's what you're used to. But I don't want you being used to someone yelling at you. I want you being used to someone speaking calmly to you and telling you, okay, these are your directions. This is what I need you to do. So it's like for a teacher, that's what we're trying to do. And I think like parents, that's what you sort of just find yourself doing. Like, yes, I'm not a parent yet, but most of the great parents I've watched, they do that. They can speak to their child one way, or they can get in that ear and get really close to them, and that child do. Exactly. And so, like, for me, I get it because I see things artistically, I see things musically, I see things in a science of it. And so, like, everything you're saying, like yes, I fully understand because, like, I get where it's coming from.
Question: do you deal with sex addicts?
I do.
So now, question: do you have more men, or you see more women sex addicts?
I'm dealing with a lot of women right now
A lot of women.
that
They
are
freaky.
So I'm not gonna. We're not. So
They the problem.
now, do
They
you
try to act like we the problem.
Well, you know what? A lot of women. You know what?
Let
Let me tell you what it is. Let me tell you what it is. What it is that I do an apprenticeship under one of my elders. She's a Chinese herbalist, so
Okay.
I deal with urbanism as well.
Not weed, not weed.
Oh,
no,
that's the
no,
good
no.
weed.
No,
Is
no.
that the good? I mean,
Not weed.
that's the chronic.
It's
Is
clarifying.
that killer willow?
No. Actually, Miss
Girl
Ellen,
Scout.
Miss Ellen, I love you so much. You took me to the temple. I didn't know what to do. They was talking about Jesus, honey, all in the temple. But anywho, I do an apprenticeship. I do an apprenticeship under a Chinese herbalist, and she's like 85 years old. But I have a lot of women that, they come to me in regards to their husband having or their boyfriends having erectile dysfunction. And a lot of people don't know is that you have certain type of pressure points in your body that can stimulate any type of organs or any type of muscle.
So
you know what I'm saying?
What's that pressure point
It's between.
between?
It's between here.
Look, fellas.
It's between here
Oh,
Oh
Lord.
my
I
God.
don't know where.
Hold on, do that one more time. Do that one more time.
You're crazy. It's between here. It's these.
Hey, see, look at him. Look at him. You see, look at Youngin.
Yeah, we're trying to see. Hold on. Where's? Show me on your hand. I can't see Ricky.
So
Actually, it's this finger,
Uh-huh.
and you just go down and press and massage.
So you go
Right
straight.
there. And they're gonna bring it. And they're gonna bring it all the way back.
Well, you know when a woman is doing it to you, it's
different if somebody else does it.
Yeah, of course, of
Hey,
course.
It's like massaging your feet.
Hey,
It's
hey,
massaging your
No,
feet.
and
Somebody else.
there are actual, like there are literal. If you go to
women, y'all need. Hey,
like
y'all
foot
need.
detox places or things like that, or massage
Yes.
places. Look at the
Flexology,
graph
the
of the
footology.
foot.
Yes.
Yeah.
The foot is
I love this.
amazing.
Hey,
I love you.
Before
If
we
I
go-
ever have a threesome, I don't want the other person to have sex with
you
the
just
other
want.
person.
You just
just
wanted to
want
No,
massage.
somebody-
I want to have sex with one and the other one can massage my feet.
You just want.
That's all I want.
I want. Hey, hold on. I need to get some in this pressure
The
point
other
right
person
here.
that massage my feet is my menage a trois. She doesn't do anything else.
Miss
I
Sway,
can't.
my feet.
That's it.
You're here because of the event that you're talking about. We got
Yeah,
about
1 minute.
We got
Let's
about
wrap
1
up.
minute. Give me this event that you're here speaking upon.
So actually, I would be at St. Philip's AME Church, and that is going to be Saturday, the 8th of September.
Uh-huh.
They're having a mini health and wellness fair, and I want you guys to, kind of come out and get educated on different things. Of course, I will be there as a vendor with my hypnotic remedies, aka the mental plug.
You gonna be
Where's it? Hold on. Where exactly is it? Say exactly where it's at and give us a time.
Okay, it's going to be at St. Philip's AME Church. That's going to be 240 Keller Road, Southeast Atlanta, Georgia, 30317. And it's going to be Saturday, the 8th of September. The time is going to be from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. So,
And where can we find you? Where can our folks find you?
I'm on Facebook. I'm on Hypnotic Remedies. And on Instagram, I'm on Smooches616.
Which is
It's about
616.
8.
Right.
Yes, sir. And that's on the east side. That's on the east side. Hey, y'all, it's about that time for us to get up out of here. And you know you can find anything in the barbershop. Please, thank you for joining your boys.
The show that LeBron James copied.
Yes, sir. And LeBron, we will be looking for you. We will be looking for you, LeBron. We coming to holler at your boy.
Why our royalties?
Honestly,
Yes, sir.
just let me run a school down here. Just
Hey.
let me run a school in Atlanta. We forgive
But
you.
it's about that time. It's time to sweep the floors, clean the clippers. This whether you got the bathroom. The barber shop is closed.
We out.
This is-
Thank you very much.
You're so welcome. I brought y'all some of my little cards right here, and I brought you this something.
Hey, did you put anything about that that hand?
I know, I'm gonna-
Hey, let's get on out here because of the
Either one of y'all.
How you supposed to do it?
Hey, yeah, you need, we need to get more on that.
Yes.
And then, I'll shoot you a request.
I do
from our
motivational
page.
speaking too at the school.
Are you on our page?
What's going on with you, man? Hey, man. Hey, fellas, we gonna figure out how to do this thing because we gonna all y'all about old now, so we got to figure out how to keep that thing up and right. So I'm gonna figure out how to do it. We gonna get some ladies to massage we hand in the middle fingers and everything. We gonna get that thing right. Thank y'all for joining us at the barbershop, baby. One love.
She do media, so she got a regular